Hey everyone. In this lecture, we're going to introduce project execution and control. So a quick recap, we've gone through the project conception and initiation. We created a project charter and understood the basic level of details for that project and what the objectives and deliverables were going to be. We then went into project definition and planning, where we defined into a little bit more detail about that project, as well as we planned out our schedule, our quality standards, our go-live plan, and just planned out all of the details for how the project would be ran. Our next stage of the project management process is project execution and control. I find it really funny. So business analysts that don't do project management, this is usually the area that they try to jump to right away when they get assigned a project. They may do a little bit of project conception, and ideally I'm trying to figure out what the project's going to be about and how they're going to, what's deliverables. But then they really don't plan that much. They skip right over the planning phase and they're right into the execution and control. What you're going to find is the project execution and control has a few key points to it for a project manager, but most of this is just monitoring the project. So let's dive into the phases of project execution and control. So to start off, project execution and control is all about driving the project towards those end deliverables, that end objective, meeting that, while also watching, monitoring, and understanding where the project is at all times, understanding where all the pieces are and where you're either ahead, on target, or behind your schedule, where you're at with cost, all of that fun stuff. So there's 4 areas that we're going to cover as part of this stage. Number 1, kicking off the project and revealing the project plans to the team. And this is the official reveal. You might have gone over the schedule and the activities with the project team members that were going to be completing them, but now you're officially rolling it out to everybody and saying, here is how the project's going to be ran and here's everything. And so you're cementing that in. We'll then go through talking about monitoring and mitigating risk. So we've done a good job to identify risks and assumptions early on in the project, but now we need to go make sure we're monitoring and mitigating any risks or hurdles that are coming up as we're working through the project. Then we'll go over how to conduct status meetings. What are the important aspects to status meetings and what should be accomplished throughout them. And finally, we'll talk about utilizing a change management process to keep your scope within the scope, keep your project within the scope that was defined initially. Or if things need to be added, at least going through and completing some change management processes where you get approval to make that change. So that way the sponsor is agreeing that the additional schedule or budget or whatever that may need to be added onto the project is worth the additional work that needs to be done.